to Trailer Trash with Jason. It is just me, Zach, today, joined by my mother and Kendall from The Poor Perspective.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
How y'all doing today?
I'm ready and willing to be here. Thank you for letting me be here.
Of course. It wouldn't be an episode without you this week. Cody is out busy doing some stuff that he could not make it this week. But I do have an episode ready for you.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I came here unprepared.
Yes.
But I'm ready to get this done. We just did ours yesterday, and you know Dylan, right?
Yeah.
Our buddy Dylan. He was here last night.
That was fucking hilarious.
You were listening.
Fucking hilarious.
He took so the vape shop sells these DMT gummies. DMT in quotation marks.
Yeah.
So they're not really
DMT.
It's got like lion's mane mushrooms and some other stuff in it and stuff like that. But all it really did was make him like agitated and anxious. It didn't really do anything. So
and he was sweaty and all that kind of shit.
Yeah. Did you see it? And I posted it here. I'll show you.
I tried to find you guys on Instagram and I couldn't find it.
Here, I'll send you. I'll find it. But this was us. Come on.
Loading.
I gotta follow. Hell yes. But that was us yesterday. He was just geeked out, and he said, what did he say? He said, "That's what it feels like to bite into a steak when you squeeze me like that." I was like, "What the hell are you talking about, bro?" So yeah.
Oh my god.
He was a mess yesterday. But he peed in the toilet, so that's good.
Hey,
instead of
that was a bonus.
instead of peeing on the wall. Yeah. So he's good.
Yeah.
He is great. So what you got planned today, brother?
So y'all talked about it a little bit in one of your early episodes.
Okay.
It is something my mother and I are very fond of and very keen on. We're gonna have a ghost episode.
I love ghosts.
Okay,
Actually, you know what? I'm very scared of ghosts.
I love them.
And my wife's grandma died on her 16th birthday, and she haunts the shit out of us, and she scares me all the time. And
why don't you just talk to her?
Because I'm not with that. I don't like ghosts. I don't want. I can't talk to him. I can't do it. But continue.
Yeah, but my mother and I both have very paranormal, a lot of experiences with each other.
We're very intuitive.
Yes.
We have two ghosts that live in this house.
Yeah, so we have two ghosts that live here.
We have an old lady and a little boy.
An old lady and a little boy.
Yep.
Okay.
Tinny Say used to live here, and Patrick, that's the little boy. He died in a fire on the property.
Really?
Yes.
How long ago was that?
That was during horse and buggy days.
Oh, so that was a long. How old is this house?
It's not the house. It's the property.
The property. Okay.
I see Civil War soldiers marching up and down my driveway when it's really foggy.
Really?
Yes.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that.
Yeah.
I cannot.
When I was a little girl, I wasn't even I was 11, because I was in the 5th grade. My granddad died, and him and I were like close.
Yeah.
He came and sat on my bed. I felt the weight of him on my bed. He patted my head and told me everything's gonna be okay, Feetheart.
Goodness.
That's the only thing. That's how I knew it was him. I seen him standing out by his favorite orange tree, picking oranges. I mean, it's crazy. Zach looks just like my granddad and my dad.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
He got the looks in the family, didn't you, Zach?
100%. I'm like, damn.
Got the looks.
He Snapchatted his old man picture the other day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you fucking looking at my dad like that? I'm like, really?
Don't send me those pictures.
I'm like,
made me
really?
cry right now.
I'm like, can you please not do that? He goes, why? I'm like, because I miss him so much.
So I personally have not been. I haven't really had anyone. Like, my grandma's still alive. I never knew my grandparents on my father's side, and I've only ever had one grandmother.
Never knew my father.
And so my grandma's still alive. The closest person I'd say that has died was my Aunt Sadie, but I was probably like 7 when she died. Other than that, I have not been around a lot of death or anything like that. I haven't experienced the loss of a close loved one. So I've never really dealt with that type of thing. My wife, on the other hand, my mother-in-law had a friend who was very close with my wife when she was a kid. And he passed away, and he did the same thing. He would sit at the end of her bed when she was like 6 or 7 and just talk to her, and she would talk to him, and and they tell me these stories, and I'm like, Can't do that. I would not be. I've never done it. Never experienced anything like that. Never even had a. I don't think I've ever had a real ghost experience.
You probably have, and you just don't know that you have it.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, if you get the chills, and you're just sitting there and the room is warm, and all of a sudden you just get the chills for no reason, that's a ghost passing through you.
Oh goodness.
It's nothing bad. They passed through you. They didn't stay with you. They were just letting you know that they were there.
Right. Honestly, I've had plenty.
I have not.
He likes to attract demons, so he gets mad at me.
Goodness.
He gets mad at me when I sage his room because he told me that there was a fucking demon in his room.
No,
Why
there
would you
was
get mad
someone
if you
in this
saged
house.
your... in the house?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, why would you get mad if there's a demon?
Because I was asleep when she did it.
Oh, okay.
Like,
That
there
makes
ain't
sense.
gonna be no demons in my house.
I don't have asthma, and I woke up having a fucking asthma attack. I couldn't breathe.
Hey, I have asthma too. I feel that on
I don't.
on
I
a
don't
personal
though,
level.
but I don't.
Okay.
Like
So-
I woke up suffocating, sweating my ass off.
You think it was the sage that was doing it, or was
Yes,
the
it was. It was a sage. Yeah,
the pissed
because-
off demon?
Oh no!
Little bit of
I'm
both.
sure. I'm sure it was a combination of the two. Because I was saging his room when I did it. I was walking across his bed,
Goodness
saging the whole
gracious.
fucking room.
And you're just over here asleep. You're
Asleep.
just
Passed out, slumped.
He's like, what the fuck, Mom? What the fuck? I'm like, you said there was a demon. We're getting it out.
we're getting it out of here.
Getting it out. We don't do demons.
Yeah, no, 'cause, the way we found out there were actually ghosts in this house is I had pulled in from work one day, and I was at the time still smoking cigarettes. So I was sitting in my car finishing my cigarette to scroll on Facebook, and her computer faces the front windows.
Yeah.
And her computer was technically off, but the monitor was on.
Yeah.
So it was just a blue screen. And I just look up and I see something walk past, and it was dark enough to walk. When it walked past the screen, it blacked out the screen. And I watched it walk to the TV and then walk back.
And you stayed outside,
No,
or
I
did you
came
go
in.
inside?
No, I came
He
in.
came inside.
I would listen. So the only ghost experience that I think that I've had. So back when I
When you
used
were
to
a young
smoke weed
warthog?
really, really heavily. I was at the, where Izzy lives over at the venue?
Yeah.
Yeah. So right across the courtyard is where my old apartment is. And I lived on the second floor right there. And I was by myself. And this was my wife, her grandma died when she was 16. So it's been a while since that happened. Well, I'm by myself. I was off that day, and I was cooking up some freaking eggs and bacon and making an egg sandwich. I'm in the middle, and I'm freaking lit, bro.
Hell yeah.
Like more like I just got woke up baked immediately. So what I did was I'm cooking, and like when someone says your name, but they say it out of like all the way out here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
behind your head. It was faint. But it was enough for me to turn around and go, huh? And then I immediately realized nobody's in the house. Somebody just said my name. I grabbed a fork and I sat on the balcony for an hour waiting for somebody to come home. And then my brother's ex-girlfriend came home and was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "There's a goddamn ghost in the house and I'm not going back in there."
Yeah, no, that actually, something similar to that used to happen to me a lot when I was a kid. I mean, there was one time my dad and I were walking into Walmart, and I heard him say, in my head, something he had said to me like 2 weeks prior. His voice, he's right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I heard him say the exact same thing 2 weeks prior.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Do you remember playing cards with my grandpa?
I was 2.
Yeah.
How do I remember that?
You told me. You told me. Because I walked upstairs when we lived at the Minaret house. And you're up there laughing and giggling and having a good time. And then like a week later, we went to California so that way we could celebrate your birthday. And you're like, I'm like, hey, who you playing with? Who you having a good time with? He goes, I don't know. This old man just came to play cards with me.
Yeah.
We walked down because I was going to change his butt.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's 3.
Yeah.
And he points at my granddad. He goes, that's the old man that came and played cards with me.
Yeah. Can't do it.
Freaked me the fuck out.
I bet it did.
I'm not going
It
to
would
lie.
freak me the hell out too.
Freaked me out. I'm like, Dad, Grandpa came to Zach. He goes, that's because that's his boy.
Yeah. Did he get to meet Zach before he passed away?
No.
Okay.
No. My granddad died in 81, 82.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
many a moon before
Many
I
a
was
moon
even
Trust
before
born.
me,
you were a thought.
trust me, my granddad would have loved him to death. I know his granddad did. My grandfather would have loved him,
Yeah.
100%. Because you got the German face.
The German face.
Sorry, sorry, buddy.
I'm mad about
My
it.
wife is German and Indian American. Native American. I say
I'm-
Indian American.
Well, we're German Jew.
German Jew. Wow, what a combo.
Yeah, we're German
What
Jew.
a combo.
Yeah, we're German Jew, Irish,
I'm Irish.
and-
got the red head.
Yeah, we
Native
know.
American,
All right. So you're just
Italian.
a hot pot.
but he's Italian.
And your dad's Italian, is
Yes.
he?
Yeah,
okay.
he's Irish Italian.
Yeah, he fits.
It's
I
because
only get-
it's that
I'm-
mustache. that gives
I'm
him
only
away.
Mario.
That Mario mustache.
I'm only Italian by injection.
There you go.
That's
It's the
it.
only time she ever takes
That's
sausage.
yeah. That's the only time I get a sausage. That's the
Goodness
only way I can have it
gracious.
because I'm allergic to pork.
Goodness.
But I've actually had more experiences than just that. Most of them, sadly, when we lived in Vegas. I used to hear someone walking through the house when, I mean, I've always been a person to fall asleep late.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's 2 a.m. I know everybody's asleep. We had hardwood floor throughout the entire house. Why do I hear bare feet walking through the house?
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody's asleep.
Yeah.
You know, I had one of those old Dell lap computers, the actual desktop, and I could hear the keyboard typing.
Oh, in your room.
Yeah,
I remember that.
yeah. Middle of the night.
I remember that.
That's a no for me.
And that was
I,
in Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot.
Alan.
I mean, there's a lot of things that there's spirits everywhere.
Well, I just consider myself a little pussy when it comes to supernatural things. But the problem with me is I don't get scared. Like, I can watch a scary movie and not get scared.
Yeah.
I can go to a haunted house. I'll be the first person in the line at a haunted house. Everybody's like, oh, who's going to go first? I'll go first. I don't give a fuck. But when it comes to that real deal haunted bullshit, I'm a pussy, bro. I am a grade A freaking pussy. I will run screaming like a little girl down the road. And I'm sure if I were around it more as a child and stuff like that, because my wife, she does not give a fuck about ghosts. She actually enjoys ghosts. She talks to her grandma a lot, but
You just gotta be careful doing that.
because you don't know if it's you're actually your grandma.
Right.
Well, and my wife, I've wanted to try and play with a Ouija board before.
Don't do that.
That's my wife. Repeatedly has told me if I play with a Ouija board, she will divorce me.
Yeah, you're just
She
bringing
said-
negative energy.
She said that is the one thing that she does not fuck with. She will not do it.
No.
She does not like it.
Yeah.
No, I have a pendulum board that I bought, and I have my crystal and I have my pendulum and all that kind of stuff. I've never had a problem with my pendulum board.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
What is a pendulum board? What's the
It's-
difference?
A Ouija board? You just with a pendulum and Ouija are kind of the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but the crystal picks you. So when you're going through and you're picking your board,
Yeah.
the board kind of picks you. Well, you can just go to Walmart and buy a Ouija.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean that alone is freaking evil.
You can go to Books A Million and buy a Ouija board.
Right, but you have to actually go
Those
to
are-
a spiritual store, a crystal store. To
Yeah,
get
like the Mystical Heart in Mount Juliet.
Yes,
I've been
yes.
there many, many
yes,
times.
yeah. So you go there and you tell them what you're looking for because you're looking for answers. They'll turn you onto that, and it's yes, no, or unknown. That's all. That's all it says.
I
And you,
I know. I've seen it on TikTok.
yes, and you
they
hold
do
the
the
crystal.
lives.
Yes.
Yes, and you hold the crystal. It's on a chain, and you ask it.
Yes or no questions.
Yes or no questions.
I've done that
because,
before.
Because I asked questions before,
Mm-hmm.
and because I was just curious,
And it gives you like
and
correct
right, and it gives
answers.
me the correct answers.
Phew. See, I've done the pendant. Like, now that you said that, I've been to the Mystical Heart many times. I don't know the lady personally in there, but I used to go in there a lot with my wife because my wife likes crystals. She has a whole bunch of crystals
Of course,
and stuff like
because
that.
they're healing.
She gave one of our friends, Isaac, from the being on the podcast. You
Yeah.
probably know him. She gave him I can't remember what kind of crystal, but it was to get rid of his nightmares that he has. And she made
you
him.
just stick
She
it under
told
your
him.
pillow.
Yeah, but he had to charge it with the moonlight
Mm-hmm.
before he could stick it under his pillow. So I don't know if it's worked for him or not, but if it didn't, he probably didn't do it right. So
There's a really awesome chick that's over here across the street from the jail.
yeah,
I have not seen a pendulum board in her store.
I think she is more of the Reiki healing crystals and.
Well, she's from Louisiana, so I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But she's awesome. She seriously is awesome. That chick knows so much about crystals and herbs and healing things and everything. When I took my granddaughter up there, he goes, "Mom, get me crystals for my birthday."
Just in general.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I walked in there and I told her, and she's like, okay, well, these are the crystals that you need for him.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, which ones do you want? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, should I be touching these crystals? They're not my crystals. They're his. And she's like, you're his mom.
Yeah.
Your energy's going to come off on his crystals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, then I'm fine with that. So I picked his crystals. My granddaughter's going through and she's picking her things. And she goes, Grandma, are you sure I can have all of this? I'm like, honey, do you need it for your own sanity? And she's like, yes. I'm like, you get what you want, because I didn't buy you gifts for your birthday because I knew you were going to come and see me.
Yeah.
I purposely did this just for you.
Where does your granddaughter live?
Lives in Kansas.
Kansas. That's right.
Kansas.
Kansas, yeah.
Is that your brother or sister's kid?
Brother.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't have sisters. We just have brothers.
Oh, I gotcha. See,
Yeah, I'm a boy house.
I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
Yeah.
2 little sisters, a twin brother, and then an older brother.
Yep.
And we have definitely, my dad, we were an all-boy household until Brooklyn came along. She just turned 18.
Oh, jeez.
And she looks like she's 25.
Sounds about right.
And
Oh,
she...
no, Zach, she's right up your alley.
But she still lives with my dad, and she just turned 18. And my dad, you know who my dad is. He's a real conservative guy.
Yep.
He's been a police officer for a long time, and she went and got a tattoo right above her knee, right here, and did not tell him about it. And then so her mom and my dad are not together. But her mom sent him a video or a picture of the tattoo, so that's how he found out. Well, he was fucking pissed, and he texted her and said, "Why did you do that?" And her response was, "I'm 18."
Exactly.
And he goes, "Okay, well, if you're 18, you can get your own car," because he paid for her car, he pays for her insurance, he pays for pretty much all the things that she does. And it wasn't the right. It was not the right, because my dad has a very his threshold is he likes to feel respected, and if you disrespect him, that's when he gets real pissed off.
Well, why was he disrespected? Because
tattoos are one of those things that he just doesn't like. I don't know. He's very weird about it.
I mean, honestly, in my family, I was the first one that got a tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
My sister and my brother and all my cousins kind of like fell into place. My aunts and uncles don't have tattoos.
Yeah.
Now that they're older, they do. My Aunt Chris has a tattoo on her ankle.
Mm-hmm.
My uncles, no tattoos.
Yeah.
My granddad, none.
I
0.
have no problems with tattoos.
I don't either.
My wife has a bunch of tattoos. I only have one tattoo, and it's on the back of my leg, and it's the Illuminati. I got it when I was drunk in 18, and
In Florida?
No, it wasn't in Florida. It was here in Nashville. It was a Friday. It's a Friday the 13th tattoo.
Okay.
And I got it with my best friend Bree, and she has one, and we they're not matching, but we got them together. But yeah, and I was 18 when I got it, but I also didn't tell my dad. I was like, well, I'm 18, so I can get a tattoo.
Well,
do
I
whatever want.
didn't live with mommy and daddy when I got my tattoo either.
So
I did. I was
But-
16.
Well,
I'm-
you were, and I just had surgery when you had yours,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a house tattoo. It wasn't even a tattoo.
oh, which one was it?
It's my name.
His name.
Oh,
Yeah.
how do you feel about the one on his cheek right here?
That one is the only one I butted heads with. I
Goodness
begged
gracious.
Yeah, she hates it.
begged him not to get that tattoo.
It looks good. I think it looks
does.
good.
It does. It looks good.
I look distinguished.
I'm not really a fan of the crow thing on his head.
Hey, the hair covers it up.
But it
though.
does. It
For
does. But this one right here, I was like, dude. I'm like, do you see mine or your dad's tattoos or your brother's tattoos or your sister-in-law's tattoos?
Yeah.
Like, do you see any of them? It's like, where do you want to go with your life? That was my biggest concern.
Yeah.
Wherever I want.
You know,
There you
I was
go.
like, because it's hard. It's hard. I mean, some people are looked hard upon with tattoos
You
on
know,
their
and
faces.
I feel like society is getting to a point where people can have tattoos, and a lot of people base your job on your merit, how you act.
It depends on where you go.
Yes,
it depends on where you go.
It depends on where you go. But places like even like Cracker Barrel. My wife works at Cracker Barrel. My wife has colored hair. She's got tattoos on her arms. She's got tattoos on her legs. She does work at corporate.
So she doesn't see customers.
But she was also a what's it called? She was one step below a manager when she was at the restaurant.
Okay.
And while she had purple hair and all this other stuff. So corporate companies like Cracker Barrel and stuff like that are becoming a lot more lax. And I feel like in the next 20 years,
I wish HCA would be like that.
No one's going to give a crap about tattoos.
Yeah, but you know what? There are still people that work in offices or in the hospital. They should be freedom of expression.
Yes, and you know what?
That's my thing.
But
a lot of nurses nowadays.
It's a lot lenient on nurses.
They should.
No, it already is.
It didn't used to be like
I know,
that.
but I mean, nurses can have full sleeves, their hands done.
And like a lot of you see a lot of these new young teachers on TikToks that have full sleeves and stuff like that. You know what I saw the other day? You remember the Wiggles, right?
Yeah.
When we were kids, the purple Wiggles. I don't know if it's the original guy. He's the one. I think he's a newer Wiggles.
The Asian guy.
The Asian guy.
He's the original.
He's the original.
Yeah.
You know he has full chest sleeve all the way down to his wrist. But they all wear those long sleeve shirts, so nobody can tell.
People say that Kristen Bell is covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
So is Dolly Parton.
I mean, I used to have
Parton's not.
I don't discard that, but Kristen Bell, I just don't see Kristen Bell being covered in tattoos.
Who is there's an actress that is covered in even on her face.
Ruby Rose.
No.
Yeah.
No, they still cut.
Who's Ruby Rose? Is that a porn star?
Dude. No, she was from the Orange is the New Black.
Oh, which one?
The lesbian one that got in there
the
third or
one
season?
from That 70s Show?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
That's Mila Kunis?
No, not on Orange is the New Black. It was Donna, the redheaded tall girl.
Oh, no, trust me.
She was on Orange is the New Black.
This chick is hot as fuck. I used to follow her on Snapchat.
Okay, so it was Kristen Bell I was thinking of, and apparently they're fake.
Okay.
Because I saw all these tattoos on her. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are fake, yeah.
Yeah.
Kristen Bell, she's the one that played in The Good Place.
I guess.
Where they say fork instead of fuck. Oh, Ruby Rose? Oh, okay, yeah, she was... Yeah.
She is...
I know who she is,
She is my lesbian dream. I will fuck the shit out of that bitch. She has no idea. Sorry, didn't mean to use body language.
My mother is... says she's a liberal, but she's one of the most... she acts like one of the most conservative people on the planet. And your mom is a really fresh breath of air, and I love it. So I'm used to...
He doesn't say that often, so...
I'm used to... my mom... I shouldn't put this out on the internet. My mom wasn't the best in the world, you know what I'm saying, back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
She had a lot of shortcomings and stuff like that.
Nobody's perfect.
But her thing about it is she will say that weed is the devil's lettuce she will say that it is the worst thing on this planet. And then I'll go find her, and then I'll go find a joint on her front porch when I come over her house. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that.
Yep.
So I mean, she doesn't want to see. I understand wanting to see your kids do drugs and stuff like that.
Well, I could never say that because my parents used to grow it.
Yeah. So, and my dad, obviously being a police officer, that's one of the main reasons why they didn't last very long.
Right.
Well, I say that they lasted 13 years, but that was before me and my brothers came along. So.
Right.
But yeah, she's always been a good mom, but on that front, when it comes to weed and stuff like that, she's very conservative on the way she acts. She doesn't think people should date or have kids outside of their race and stuff. You know what I'm saying? She's real old school. It is dumb. It is dumb.
I mean,
but she's
how
also...
old are your parents?
My mom is 62 and my dad is 61.
All right, so they're a little older. They're older than I am. I mean,
so my parents had me
sad.
late. My dad was 32 when he had me. I'm pretty sure. Something like that.
My dad was 30.
I don't care what color you are. At the end of the day, if you're a dick, you're a dick.
Yeah. If you make your son, daughter, whatever happy, that's all that matters.
You make your spouse happy. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Seriously, does it matter that she's brown?
No.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little jealous of black people because they have a better tan than me. And I tell them that all the time. I'm like, I'm trying to catch up because I want to be brown like that. because I love it. It makes me feel good.
The way that I was raised, I've never found African American people to be attractive, just because you know what I'm saying. It's just the way that I was raised, and and a lot of it has to do with the way your parents raise you. Because when you're a kid, and you get told things over and over and over again, and you grow up, it kind of just sticks in your head. You know what I'm saying? And there's not a lot that you can do about that.
It's facts.
I don't know. It's ingrained in my brain. I have no problem with it whatsoever.
I don't
but
care.
I don't.
Your best friend is black.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My best friend is black. I mean, she just passed away. God bless her heart. But I mean, seriously, his godfather is black. His godbrother is black. My husband's best friend is black.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I really give a shit what color you are? No.
No.
Be a good human.
That's really all that matters.
That's all that needs to happen at the end of the day. Be a good human.
And there's a lot of white pieces of shit out there too.
100%. We won't name names.
No, we're not going to name names today. That's for another podcast.
I'll gladly say his name on the podcast. Fuck DJ.
There you go. Fuck that guy.
And you know what? I hope he listens too.
Oh, he won't listen
Fuck Matt.
because he's a fucking pussy.
I'm talking about Matt.
Fuck Matt and fuck DJ.
He won't.
I know he won't.
Goodness gracious. Did you listen to our podcast when we were talking about that?
Yes, I did.
How Izzy asked Kiana about it, and Kiana said that Matt never told you to go up there and say that to him? That's what Matt was telling Kiana and all the other girls in there?
Matt said that in a meeting.
Yeah.
We all had a meeting, and he said that. There will not be this, and there will not be that. He doesn't like country music, and he doesn't like rap music. Rock. That's right. Heavy metal music.
What's wrong with heavy metal music? I don't. That's my thing.
What does Matt consider heavy metal?
Yeah.
Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh my.
That's
God.
not
That's
heavy.
hard rock. That's literally just hard rock.
Yeah. That's dad rock.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Five Finger.
I love Five Finger Death Punch. Listen,
it's like what you
13-year-old Kendall was rocking out on the school bus.
Like,
by the way, I've been meaning to say this I meant to say it last time you were on my podcast, and I meant to say it the other day on another podcast. Do you remember rolling down my street and I was like 11 or 12, and you were 16, so I would have been 15, 14, 13. Yeah, I would have been 12. So you had your car, you would go pick up your buddy on Nonneville Road, and you would drive past all of us at the school bus stop, and you would put your arm out the window and go, "Fuck the government!"
Oh yeah, me and JoJo.
Yes, and then you just go, "Fuck it," and then all of us little 12-year-olds were like, "Fuck the government!"
Yep.
Oh my gosh, you lived over there?
That's how I first knew Zach.
That's crazy.
I didn't know his name. I didn't know anything about him. All I know
do
is...
you remember where it started?
No.
You, your twin, and Celeste.
Oh God!
We're at Charlie Daniels with I think that you guys are holding signs to have your dad elected for something.
Yeah, when my dad was running for commissioner. Yeah.
And that was probably it. And JoJo started it because JoJo was driving, and it was you guys are standing right there in front of the train holding the sign.
Yeah.
That's where it all started.
Yeah. So, and I didn't know his name, and it just proves how small of a world this is. How long ago was that? We were 12 and I'm 24. That was almost 12 years ago, something like that.
That's crazy.
And now I'm at your house doing a podcast, bro.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey, what?
And for the longest time, I did not know that Jen was your mother.
Yeah.
I only knew, and I thought you just worked at the bar as a bouncer, and I thought you just worked there. I didn't know that you guys were mother and son, and so it really is just a small world out here. You never know who you're going to run into, don't burn some bridges, man.
Right.
Don't burn your bridges. I'm telling you.
He does kind of look like me if Chris isn't in the bar.
Yeah.
When Chris is in the bar, he looks just like his dad. But he has my nose.
He has your nose. There you go.
That's it. He's furry like his dad.
Yeah.
He's furry, just like his dad. But he has my nose. He has my eye color.
So yeah, I can't get away with saying I'm not my father's child because we all look alike. You've seen my older brother. We all just look alike.
Have I ever shown you a picture of my brother?
You have not.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Well, they're half brothers.
Half brothers.
Half
okay.
brothers.
He's still my brother. But yeah, no, I mean,
my littlest sister is my half sister, and then Brooklyn is my adopted sister.
They have the same daddy, not the same mama. I'm the better mama.
There you go.
Yeah, when Chris and I went to his high school reunion at the end of August, I was meeting some of his high school friends that I hadn't met before.
Yeah.
I went to his 10-year, but his ex-wife was there. So we went to this pool party, and they're like, "Who are you? We don't know who you are. We didn't see you in high school." I'm like, "Oh, I'm Chris's wife."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, wait. You know his ex-wife, but I'm the best wife."
I'm the better wife.
Yeah, that was my brother.
Oh, gosh. He's a lot older than you, isn't he?
9 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
He looks like he's been in a fight in that picture.
Well, he has Chris's grandfather's
Adolf.
dark
Just dark circles
Yeah, the
under
dark
his eyes?
circles. Yes. Yeah.
Adolf or John's dad.
You
Adolf.
got somebody in your family named Adolf?
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
Adolf Ruggielli.
Yes.
Adolf Ruggielli.
Frugielli.
Frugielli.
100% Italian.
All right. Not German.
No.
No.
100%
Okay.
Italian.
No.
Did they
No.
think about that name before they named him?
He was born before Hitler.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Hitler copied him.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
no, what
so
it was is he
my,
was
my
probably,
mother-in-law is a Frugielli.
Uh-huh.
That's her daddy's name.
Yeah.
Her mama is a Calabrese.
Calabrese.
Which, I mean, 100% Italian.
Yeah.
We've heard stories. I don't know if it's 100% true, but one of them was born, I think it was Grandpa. I think Grandpa was born on the boat on the way over.
Really? See, my dad actually did. This is good. This is taking a real big turn from ghosts. But my dad actually did I don't think he did the 23andMe, but he did some type of, it was Ancestry.com.
Ancestry.
And he
I don't
tracked
think
our.
Ancestry is on point. I
Yeah.
really don't. I really don't.
You don't think so? Mm-mm. Well, he got all the way back to like 1700.
I mean, I've gone on my mom's side, and I've gone back to like the 7th century.
Really?
I don't know how accurate that is, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, oh, you have a leaf, you have a leaf, you have a leaf, you have a leaf.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that looks like somebody on my mom's side, so maybe it's true.
Yeah. Well, he tracked it back all the way to when our name was, it was spelled a different way. So my dad's great-great-grandfather in 17 something came over here from a part of Ireland 100 miles away from Castle Mount Juliet.
That's fucking ironic.
Yeah. So and then they came over in like 1720 something on, not on the Mayflower, but on some kind of
Some
boat.
boat, right.
And then
Not the
then-
Titanic, because they made it.
Then they made their way to the colonies right there, and then they went to Pennsylvania, and then they came back down, and then somehow we ended up in Tennessee somewhere along the line. But my dad, my grandparents on my dad's side moved to Tennessee, I think before my dad was born, or Mount Juliet. My grandparents lived in Portland, and they moved to Mount Juliet before my dad was born. So I've been in Mount Juliet. My whole family's been in Mount Juliet for over 100 years.
I have people that lived here. My great-grandfather is from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Because my aunt and uncle messaged me. They're like, hey, would you go to the archives in downtown Nashville and find him?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So I went down there, and I'm going through the archives. I found him. And I'm like, okay, this is where he was from. I don't even remember the name of the fucking city he was from.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I found him. I took a picture of it and sent it to them. They're like, holy crap, we really are from Tennessee. I'm like, well,
How did your family end up in California?
they migrated.
Okay.
Gold rush.
Yeah.
Gold rush.
Now, did your dad find out how your name was spelled before you guys came here?
It was like Justec or something like that.
See, do you remember Scottney?
Scottney?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
So, her maiden name is Justice,
Mm-hmm.
but it's spelled differently.
Yeah.
It's Justus.
That's what it was. Just us. That's
Just
what
us.
my. That's
Just us.
yeah. That's correct.
So I wonder if
that's
you,
what our name was back when before it got changed to
So I-
So
Justice.
you and Scottney might be related.
Who is Scottney?
She went to Mount. She went to Mount
She is
Juliet.
a doll baby. You would love her to death. I wish she lived down here,
Where's she live now?
She lives in Clarksville.
Clarksville.
Clarksville. Okay.
She went to Mount Juliet for like a year or two.
Huh.
Do you know Cheyenne Hood?
Yeah.
Best friend.
Okay. So if you know who Holly is, redheaded girl that is friends with Cheyenne.
Probably.
So that's Dylan's ex-girlfriend is Holly. So
Okay.
they used to be I used to hang out with Cheyenne a lot.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say something. Now I've done forgot what I was gonna say.
Must not have been that important.
Obviously, it wasn't that
Well,
important.
the spellings of names when we come over and we go through Ellis, they change
Yeah.
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Schaefers are not Schaefers. We're not German Schaefers, because Schaefer is SCHAEFER.
Yeah, but if you Google Schaefer name origin, it comes up German the way yours is spelled.
Well, then I'm the OG. But I mean, I went to school with Schaefers,
Yeah.
and they were not spelled the same way. I know that there was
Now
in California.
that Schaefer family might have changed it in Ellis
They could have.
because our family could have came after the whole migration to the Americas.
It could have.
and or before.
It could have, but I know that there's 2 Schaefer parks in California, one in San Francisco and one in Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that Schaefer Park was named after my granddad.
Really?
I had no idea it was not.
It was a great granddad.
It was my great granddad. No, it honestly wasn't. It wasn't. It was yeah.
Charlie Daniels Park.
Yeah.
You know, my dad's a commissioner. So before Charlie Daniels Park was ever there, my dad had it in the works, and he actually created Charlie Daniels Park back in like 2003 or 2002 as a present for my older brother Brandon.
That's sweet.
His name, my dad's name, is actually on the plaque of the people who created Charlie Daniels Park in the
so
community
awesome.
center
Yeah.
over there. But yeah, it's dedicated. It was dedicated to my older brother,
never
basically.
knew
Charlie
that.
Daniels was. So.
I didn't know that. That's sweet.
Yeah.
We used to live on the other side of
Yeah.
of that park.
Over by not Willow Creek, but the little condominiums over there.
Nope, we
on
lived
the
in the
other
housing
side
tract
of the-
off of Creekwood.
Over by Park Glen.
No.
What are we talking about?
So if you're in the playground area,
Yeah.
okay, that fence that lined it,
We
lived on the other side of that
I was
fence.
probably
lived
in
in
your.
there.
I was probably a little kid in your backyard at some point.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah. So listen, we used to do some crazy things over at Charlie Daniels. We used to get into some shit.
So did he.
I don't know what you're talking
So
about.
did he.
I-
He came home and told me he fucked some bitch on the fucking park bench.
Oh.
At CD. Yeah, at Charlie Daniels. I'm sure Charlie Daniels.
You're one of those guys that tells your mom everything, aren't you?
Well, almost.
She asks.
Yeah. Well,
Why lie?
I was
like-
the type of guy I didn't. My parents didn't know what the hell I was
He
doing.
knows.
I was
Him and
running
his brother
around.
know. If I ask a question and you lie and I find out the truth
You get in
later,
a lot more trouble.
oh hell, just be honest, because I don't really, honestly, I don't give a shit.
That's how my mother-in-law is.
I don't give a shit. And if they come to me and say, "Mom, you can't be mad.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you something," then I know I'm getting a real story.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah.
Goodness
Yeah.
gracious. Yeah, I
I
did
mean, I didn't have that growing up.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to my parents and tell them
Yeah.
stupid shit.
Yeah.
I wanted
and then
my
because
boys
it
to
turns
have
into a mad lecture. is
Yes,
what it does.
and when they tell me, "Mom, you can't get mad," then I knew I had to like have my hands busy
Yeah. and
while
just
they're telling me what's
choke it
going
Yeah,
down.
you
on.
can't look. Notice
So-
as she's using a knife in her
Yes,
three.
so
It's
I'm
the
like,
celery or it's you, motherfucker.
it's like
it was gonna end up me no matter what.
it's like, okay, thank God for onions because they're big and I'm
Yeah.
gonna be crying, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
There you
tell
go.
me, you tell me what you want to tell me.
Yeah,
But it's
my family's
easy.
the same way. I couldn't tell. And I tell my dad a lot of the things that I did when I was a kid now, but back when I was a kid, I couldn't. It wasn't possible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because my dad, he's a real old school guy. He's real hard ass. He gets mad real easy. He's a yeller and all this other stuff. So usually, if it's not good, keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
But if I ever have kids, I don't want to be like that. I want them to be able to come to me and tell me, "Hey, I fucked up." You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
there was a lot of times where I fucked up, and did not tell my father nor my mother because I knew it was gonna be bad. So I just kept it to myself. Everything ended up being okay eventually,
Right.
but I probably could have used a little bit of help during that time. You know what I'm saying?
Trust me, there was plenty of times I almost got arrested and I just
Yeah.
didn't say anything.
Yeah. So, look, there was one time with oh my gosh, I was 19 years old, and I had moved this 17-year-old girl with me into my apartment. She was still in high school.
16.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And-
I was an angel.
and
Thank you.
Said nobody ever. Billsy Bob.
We went, and she didn't want to. For some reason, she didn't want to drink at my house. She wanted to drink at 7 Points. I lived in an apartment at Hermitage, so we drove over to 7 Points, and we were drinking from this bottle of vodka or whatever. And we got a little drunk, and like probably like 30 minutes went by. So we take off, we leave, we take off down the interstate. I was going to show her my older brother's house. And we get to we're right before the Mount Juliet exit. She's chugging this bottle of vodka while we're driving down the road, and a cop pulls us over.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. And I said, what the fuck? So she literally immediately doesn't even put the cap on the bottle of vodka, throws it in the back seat. It's just pouring out into the back seat. I am drunk as hell. This cop walks up to my window. I go, "How you doing, officer?" Just talking to him. She didn't say a damn word. I said, "This is her car. I'm driving her car." I was going 87 in a fucking 70, so that's why he pulled me over.
Oops.
But he didn't say anything about the liquor in the back that's pouring into the seat.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything about me smelling like alcohol. He gave me his ticket for speeding, and I thanked God I got out of there scot-free.
Holy shit.
Yep.
And we drove to the Waffle House parking lot in Mount Juliet. She got out of the car, threw up in the parking lot, got back in the car, went back to my house, and then she like threw up all the way inside the house. So
Oh no.
Yeah. Broke up with her the next day.
no, I broke up with her like probably like 4 or 5 months later after she'd been I broke up with her, and she didn't want to leave my room. I was like, I didn't stay at my house for like a week
That
because she
sounds
wouldn't
like
get
Noelle.
she wouldn't get the fuck out of my house. And then she started fucking my roommate. So I was like, okay, that kind of stung for like 2 days, and I was like, you know what? Take her, keep her. I don't want her anymore. Because the whole time I was with her, I was fucking my current wife, Zoe.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Well, she's
and-
cuter anyway. So.
yes,
She's sweet.
Yeah. So, me and Zoe have been together since she was 15 and I was 16, and it was off and on for a little bit. You know how
Yeah.
I graduated, she was still in high school. I wanted to be a fucking idiot and all this stuff, and she didn't want me to be an idiot. So I was like, okay, well, we always somehow ended up back to in each other's presence.
Well, then you were meant to be together.
Exactly. So
100%.
So I think the longest time we ever were apart was 6 months, and we weren't apart very much for the 6 months. You know what I'm saying? If you catch my drift.
Yeah. See,
So there were many girlfriends that got cheated on by my wife.
See, Cody and I almost got arrested together one time.
Cody and did what?
Yeah, me and Cody almost got arrested one time.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and the fucked up part is I told him we shouldn't have been there.
Where were you?
So we were. It's because I touched the
You're good.
knot back
I just
here.
wanted to see where we were
Oh.
at. 42.
Yeah.
All right. You were where?
We were at. You know where Nashboro Village is?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're at that red light, say you left Nashboro Village and you turn left to go towards Hermitage.
Yeah.
And you're at that big four when you hang a right and you can go down to the lake that way.
Yeah.
So we were over there. Well, we started over at Horace off of Bell Road.
Yeah.
And, he gets the call from our homegirl, Michaela, who Cody and I have talked about on this podcast.
Yeah.
And, he's like, they get off the phone and tells me, hey, we're going to pick up some alcohol. Then we're going to go over to the lake. And I told him, I said, man, that's not a good idea. He's like, no, man, it's fine.
Dude,
it's fine.
the lake is the worst spot to be, bro.
And it was nighttime. Okay. And I told him, I said, look, I have a gut feeling.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those, gut feelings that you know better. Like, hey, you
Yeah.
shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
And
I've been in that position many times.
Yes, 100%. And I told him that. He's like, no, man, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. So we get out there. And I swear to you, it's 10 minutes, maybe 15, that we sat down on the rocks and we were having a good time. And everyone's drinking.
Yeah.
I'm sipping on my Four Loko. And I'm
back when they had the energy drink in them
no,
too?
No, this is still after.
Oh,
They had
okay.
just brought it back at this time.
Okay.
So, I'm just sitting there, and I'm sitting, away from everybody, but, I'm at an angle, so I can see the water, I can see the group, and I can see anything in the trees.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, and I start seeing a flashlight through the trees.
Oh.
So I just go, and I turn a little bit. And then all of a sudden, here comes the flashlight and the Metro cop saying, well, what do we got out here? He's like, you know what, show of hands, who here is under the age of 21? Everybody,
Every single person.
but Cody,
yeah.
raises their hand.
Oh, poor Cody.
And Cody's like, And now the cop goes, all right, show of hands, who all here is over 21? And Cody goes, just you could tell, he didn't want to raise his hand. So I mean, the cop ended up just letting everybody go.
Yeah.
But one of the chicks that was there with us, fucking is talking to the cop, trying to say, "Oh, I don't know them."
Oh, don't you just hate that bullshit?
Bro, I swear to God, she's like, "I don't know them. I've never, this is my first time meeting them." She's hung out at Horace, God knows how many times. She's like, I wasn't drinking. I wasn't this. I don't know them. This, that, and the other. Like, really, bitch?
I have a similar story that I'll tell after you're done.
Oh, go ahead. Now, that's pretty much the end of it.
So, I was either 18 or 19, and I was hanging, and it was with that same chick, the my ex-girlfriend that was the...
House vomit. Got it.
Yeah. So, we're at my friend's house, the chick that we're at, her friend's house is literally, I've known her since elementary school. She lives down the road from my father. I don't know, she doesn't still live there anymore, but we were at her house, and that was one of the first times that I ever hit a dab in my life.
Oh, shit.
And I remember I hit the dab, I go into her bathroom, I throw up like 3 times because I was so high. And then the only thing I remember, I woke up on the floor. I guess I passed out because I was throwing up so hard. And I woke up, I cleaned myself off in the sink. Like, I didn't get it on me, but it was like on my mouth. I cleaned myself off, flushed the toilet, went back in there. They're like, "You were gone for like 30 minutes. Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And they're like, then there was like 6 or 7 of us in there. I can't remember who all was in there, but there was this one girl who was this blonde girl who... I don't remember how we all knew her, but for some reason she was hanging out with... She was one of those real ditzy blonde girls. Well, she gets this bug up her ass about wanting to go to the fucking lake. It's like 10 o'clock at night. And they want to smoke a blunt or a joint or whatever. And I'm like... I'm the only one who was like, I don't think that's a good idea. It's like past 10 o'clock and the cops will be out there looking for people like us. And... nobody listened to me. Nobody gave a fuck about what I had to say. So I'm still fucked up out of my mind. We walk outside, and on her porch, we're about to all get in the car, and I lean over the railing and just go, throw it like 2 more times. I get in the car, have the window down. I'm like, oh, this feels so nice. Have the window down. We get to the lake. It's Cedar Creek Lake over there. Yeah. So we all get out. I stayed in the parking lot because I was sick. I was high, I was sick, I just didn't want to be there. And every single person except me of this 8-person group go down to the lake to smoke this joint. Guess who motherfucking rolls up?
Your dad.
No, not my dad. Guess who? The freaking Wilson County Sheriff's Office. 2 cops roll up. I'm the only motherfucker in the parking lot, and they just shine their light at me. I am so high. And they're like, "What are you doing?" I was like, my friend, I'm sick, and I was throwing up, and my friends are down there at the lake, and they're like, "Tell them to come up here." I was like, "You can scream just as well as me, sir. I don't think you want me to walk all the way down there and walk all the way back up here."
Right.
But they saw the lights, and they saw me like a deer in the fucking headlights, so they threw the freaking joint away. And this blonde girl, bro, they were asking us all these questions, and she goes, "My parents told me not to talk to the cops. I don't talk to cops." And literally every single person in this group was like, "Bitch, what are you doing?"
Right, shut the
and
fuck
then
up.
I can't remember her name, but somebody else was like, "Her name is this, this, and this." Like, gave her the name, and like, because she was being a fucking dumbass, and she was gonna get us all in trouble because she didn't want to give out her name, and they knew who I fucking was.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So. And yeah, so
Not
and
very
then
many
nothing
redheads
came of it. They only had like 1 or 2 joints, and they threw them in the water before they walked back up to the parking lot. So, and then the only thing incriminating that we had, I think all of us were 18, over 18 or something like that. Actually, that's probably not true. But there was some vapes that they were trying to say, "Oh, whose vape is this?" And I was like, "Oh, well, that one's my vape. I'm 19 years old, so that's my vape." But yeah, so just. I hate stupid bitches that do that shit. Like, if you get pulled over by a cop, just tell them what your fucking name is.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It'll go a lot smoother for you. There was also one time, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, the same girl, goddammit.
Damn those blondes.
No, it wasn't the blonde girl. It was,
Okay,
it was
the
my
blonde.
ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
She was still 17 and I was 19. I was just about to move out of my house, out of my dad's house, into this apartment. And we're leaving Speedway, and they pull me over, And over there, you know where the four-way is on Nonneville?
Yeah.
To turn right by the lake, that little gas station right there on the top of the hill?
Yeah.
They pulled us over in that gas station. So, and they're like, immediately, I didn't have insurance on my car, so I was freaking the fuck out. I wasn't even worried about the weed. She didn't tell me that for some reason when we left her house, she put an eighth of weed in her fucking titties. Why she did that? I don't know. I have no idea why she did that. And the cop walks up. He goes on a spiel. I need your license, registration, and insurance. Thank God he smelled the weed because he forgot about the insurance once that was over. So he smells the weed, and I look at her because she told me she had it, and she looks at me, and then she goes, I just have like 2 grams, and she pulls it out of her titties and gives it to him. Well, they get me out of the car, and this black cop walks up, and I know him because he's had dinner at my fucking house before, and he goes, well, look at what we got here, a mini justice. And I was like, hey, how's it going? I'm cutting up with all of them, like,
hey.
and I was so high, and they asked, they pulled her to the side, and they were like, does he smoke weed? And she was like, no, he doesn't smoke weed. And apparently I was because I was just cutting up with him because I knew all of them. I was like, hey, sorry, I'm making you guys do all that. There's like 10 of them there, bro. There's like 10 cops there just pulling me over.
Yep.
So they let us go and everything, and I took her back home. I should have gotten a lot of trouble. He's like, you want me to? He's like, what would your dad say if I called him right now? I said, probably be pretty pissed, probably be pretty mad.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, took her home, and then yeah. So,
who was it? It's it's that one MJ cop that all the girls swoon over.
Officer Chandler.
Yes.
Yes.
You know he's gay, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, he's delicious.
Do you remember?
He did my that day that we got a ticket and when I was taking you to school before we left Donaldson 100. He did my road class. He's delicious. He is very much.
He prefers pole over hole, Mom.
Yeah, he is.
Well, that's okay. I can enjoy the window.
He's not that good looking.
Oh yeah, he is that good.
He's a good looking guy.
He is.
I'm man enough to admit when a guy is good
he's
looking.
very handsome.
I'm better looking.
You're just furry.
I'm better looking.
You know I like my furries.
But he pulled me and JoJo. Well, technically,
Who's JoJo?
Oh, you need to meet JoJo. Oh my God, you guys should have JoJo on the fucking podcast.
I bet that would be
one
good.
day.
100%.
Because the only person I remember was you back in the day. I don't remember JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo was the one. He was the one that always drove.
In his S10?
He never had an S10.
What did he have that older?
He had a C10.
C10.
He had a Ford Ranger.
Yeah.
A Scion TC.
Yeah.
Okay. JoJo.
See, I don't remember him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he lived
was
down
the
your
one
road.
that drove. But he was still when he had his Ranger. He had just had the tires rotated, so he's trying to break in the back tires again, get them evened out. And we're just cutting it through the middle school parking lot. Well, here comes Alan coming off of Charlie Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pulling into the middle school, and we're like whipping it. He like has to turn real quick to not hit Officer Alan.
Yeah.
So obviously Alan turns around and pulls us over.
Yeah.
Well, here comes Chandler's fruit ass on his fucking bicycle.
He was a bike cop that day?
Yes.
Oh, I hate that shit,
He was
bro.
a fucking bike cop.
Not
even a motorcycle, a bicycle.
So just a little add-on here. Mount Juliet just invested in 13 new bike cops for Mount Juliet.
Are they going to be in Providence, or are they going to be?
They're all over. Wherever there's a sidewalk, they're just roaming.
Wow.
They do a lot of this stuff at Charlie Daniels. They do. So Mount Juliet has a lot of events and stuff like that
They
now.
do.
So usually they use the bike cops a lot more when there's an event and stuff like that.
Well, I thought that's what the horse cops were for.
We don't have any horse cops anymore.
They used to.
We used to. We don't have any anymore.
Right.
Not in Mount Juliet. Only in Nashville.
That is what
now.
the Hummer is for.
The Hummer. Does Mount Juliet have a Hummer?
Yes. They have an H1.
Of course
It's
they do.
strictly used for parades.
Parades.
Yes.
Goodness
Well,
gracious.
one of the first times I ever had the Christmas parade in Providence,
Yeah.
they had the mounted police.
Really?
Yes, they did have mounted police up there, and during Christmas season, it was always mounted police.
Yeah.
I mean that you probably were little. You probably didn't.
Yeah,
go
I
up there.
probably don't remember.
But I mean, when I would go to Target or Old Navy, mounted police during Christmas time.
Yeah. See, I've been in, other than the last 2 years, since I was 10 years old, I've been in every single, because my dad's a commissioner, I've been in every single Mount Juliet Christmas parade that there was.
Yeah.
And when I turned 16, I was the one driving, because they always give, Two Rivers Ford always gives them the newest year vehicle truck to ride in the parade. And so I would, I think back in 2015, I was driving the new 2016 Ford F-150 or whatever. It was so freaking nice.
Oh, yeah.
I never drive, I've still probably never driven anything as nice as one of those vehicles today.
JoJo's Ranger.
Really?
So it was an 06
Yeah.
Ranger XLT dealer edition.
Really? What's a dealer edition?
So a dealer edition truck is your car salesman at a dealership, okay, and you see a brand new vehicle coming out. You can spec it out 100% how you want it.
Really?
Yes, and it's options that the normal consumer cannot get. So he had an XLT with edge suspension. He had a subwoofer in the center console. Yeah.
Of course he did.
Yeah, upgraded. Oh, no. This wasn't JoJo that did it. This was the dealer that picked this option out. He had, it was pretty much the best of the best that you could have got, pick and chose for each individual thing.
Really?
Yes. Well, he saw the brand new F-150 that was coming out and said, no, I want that instead. After having already ordered the Ranger.
Yeah.
So him and he got the Ranger for dirt cheap. But so yeah. So here comes Fruitcake, riding up on his bicycle at the same fucking time that JoJo's closing his glove box and he has a makeshift fucking pipe in there.
Yeah.
And somehow Officer Fruitcake somehow saw it and just reaches right back in and opens his glove box. Mind you, we're under the age of 18.
Yeah.
So you already don't have consent or anything to be inside the vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, he pulls us out, and he literally finds a single cigarette and a lighter on me.
And probably charged you with it.
Chandler tried to say, literally looked at me and said, do you want me to destroy this, or do you want me to write you a ticket for this? I sat back and looked and said, do you really want to do the paperwork over a single fucking cigarette?
Yeah.
He's like, well, I mean, I'm like, be smart. Just fucking destroy it.
There was...
'Cause I'm going to go get more.
Yeah. There was a kid that I went to high school with. His name was DeRiggy or something like that. I can't remember. That's probably not his name. His father is an undercover for Mount Juliet, or at least he used to be. And he got my older brother back in the day when he was a real big pothead. He doesn't smoke weed anymore whatsoever because his job doesn't let him.
Yeah.
But they got pulled out of their cars at Arby's in Providence because their buddy worked there. And DeRiggy pulls out, they're sitting on the ground with handcuffs, whatever, and they're searching their car, and DeRiggy pulls out this fat bag of Rillo guts, just tobacco, and he goes, ooh, bingo, and lifts it up in the air like he's got something, and my brother starts laughing his ass off. He's like, you're going to get a promotion for that one, big boy. All that tobacco in that bag.
Yeah,
and
big
DeRiggy,
promotion with some tobacco.
Listen, I don't think DeRiggy was as close to hitting my older brother as he's probably ever been hitting anybody, bro. And dude, it was funny, bro. It was really bad. My dad doesn't like that motherfucker either. My dad was the president of the Little League baseball park in Mount Juliet for a long time. DeRiggy, he obviously being undercover, he does drug deal busts.
Yeah.
They started doing a fucking drug deal in the back of fucking the Little League baseball park. Didn't let my dad know. Didn't let anybody know. And this lady who was working in the office at the park saw them back there and was like, what the hell is going on? And called my dad. Dude, my dad called him and told him, get the fuck out of my fucking park right goddamn now. Who do you think you are, not letting nobody know that you're going over there to do a fucking undercover drug deal? What
Right.
the fuck is wrong with you? My dad's pulled DeRiggy over in his undercover car. He had a little beat up car that he used to drive around. And he flew past my dad one time going like 80 trying to get somewhere. But he didn't have no lights on. He didn't have nothing on. So my dad pulls him over, and DeRiggy starts cussing him out. He's like, what are you doing? You know my car. I'm undercover. I'm trying to get somewhere. He's like, what does it look like you running past me at 80 miles an hour and me not doing shit when you're undercover? What does that look like? That looks worse.
I shit you not. When I had my first personal vehicle that was titled under me, everything, it was maybe 1 a.m. I was just cruising around Mount Juliet because I couldn't sleep. And I just get behind two fucking sheriffs going down Lebanon Road. We are going 80 down Lebanon Road. Okay, mind you, now I'm not a cop. I'm just trying to figure out why the fuck they're going 80. No lights on, nothing. Okay? And Mount Juliet passes me. He thought I was undercover. Because I was just following him. So, I mean, eventually they went to some house and they were just talking to some dude on a fucking motorcycle. So I just leave, you know. And I find the cop at the Mapco right there on the corner, MJ and Lebanon Road.
Yeah.
And I'm asking him about it. He's like, "That was you?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "I thought you were an undercover detective." I said, "No, sir."
Nope, just me.
Were you in my
motherfucker.
Durango?
No, I was in the Jetta.
Oh, no.
I was in the Jetta.
He was in his Jaguar.
Oh, the Jaguar
It was
Jetta.
a Jetta. It was a Volkswagen Jetta.
He called it his Jaguar.
I never called it a Jaguar.
You did too, several
I
times.
never called it a Jaguar.
You did too.
I hate Jaguars. They're pieces of shit.
But you
never
called it
would
a
have called it
Jaguar.
a Jaguar.
You did.
Never would have called it a Jaguar. They're pieces of shit. But yeah, no, I mean, I asked him, I said, "Are they allowed to do that?" He's like, "Man, they're sheriffs. They think they can do whatever they want."
Yeah. Well, I personally like sheriff's deputies better than I like because city cops are usually the ones who will give you tickets for like no tags or no insurance.
So,
but if like a sheriff pulls you over, usually they'll be like, okay, because usually sheriffs have are the ones who are going after the drug dealers and stuff like that.
You ready to have your mind blown?
I'm ready.
Cops get paid per ticket. City.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sheriffs don't.
Yeah.
That's why you 100.
They have a quota.
If you get pulled over by a city cop, you're getting a ticket.
Yeah.
You're getting a ticket.
Your brother's texting me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But sheriffs, they get paid enough. They don't. LPD only gets like 10 something an hour.
Are you serious?
I mean, it's probably a little bit more now, but like when I during COVID times, yeah, it was like $10-11 an hour.
You know, Mount Juliet's offering like $24 an hour right now. For police officers.
Lebanon's probably offering more now.
Like probably like 19 or 20 or
yeah,
something
but
like
still,
that.
like that's
But
not enough.
you know what? You know what sucks about getting older? All the freaking people that you went to high school with are cops.
Yeah.
It's freaking annoying. Like there's so many. There's like at least 2 of them that work at Mount Juliet police officer, and I know of 3 people that are on the freaking Lebanon police department
Yep.
that I know. Luckily, I've not been pulled over by any. One of them's a woman.
I know like 1 or 2 are
Brown
sheriffs.
chicken, brown cow.
1 or 2 are a sheriff. One is
She was a bitch in high school.
Oh.
I hope you listen to this.
one works in the jail, and then another one's a state trooper.
There you go. I have a couple buddies that used to work at the jail and they got fired because they.
I know
sucked
one
at
that's a
their job.
metro cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something I never would have thought like out of him, like metro cop. Just couldn't see it.
Yeah. Well, you know, have you ever met my buddy Curtis?
I think so.
Bald head, beard.
I think I know Curtis.
He wanted to be a police officer for a long time. He has an associate's degree in criminal justice, and then he went and got his bachelor's in business, and now he's a GM for what's it called? What's that one? First Watch. You know,
Okay.
First Watch in
Yeah.
Hermitage.
Mm-hmm.
He's the GM of the First Watch in Hermitage.
So he could be a cop. He could own a business, but
Yeah.
now he just runs somebody else's.
yeah.
Putting
So-
those degrees to real work there, bud.
Well, he wants to do something different. I think he's tired. He's tired of being a manager of a restaurant. He wants to go work somewhere else.
Oh yeah,
But-
I get that 100%.
But yeah.
Sean saying anything good?
He's wondering where I'm going to see your dad at.
Oh,
How is what's your dad's name?
Chris.
Chris. How is Chris? He's doing okay over there?
He's good. He's
Okay.
good.
Hell
Good.
He's lonely, but
Lonely? Does he not have no friends over there?
Well, he's working with a company that he's never worked with before.
Mm-hmm.
So he does have people that he's friendly with, and it's really bizarre because he's not a friendly kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's very...
He's a very quiet guy.
He's
When I
very
see him in the bar.
Sean and Chris are very much alike. Zach and I are 100% alike.
Yeah.
100.
Extroverted.
Extroverted.
Yeah.
I have
yeah.
my father's mannerisms though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Douchebaggery. Yeah.
I bet that's what drew you to him in the first place.
Well,
She was sleeping with her boss.
I was. I chased him through Carlos Jr. in California.
There you go.
I got fired from that job because I got caught.
How long did you grow up in California?
Born and raised.
Okay. I've never the farthest away state I've been is up north, Pennsylvania, and then to the west I've been to Oklahoma when I went to basic training for the Army,
Oklahoma.
and then dislocated this kneecap and actually You can see my scar. I had
I do.
surgery and all this right here. There's another one, a scar on this side too. Screwed my kneecap up.
Me, Chris, and Zach were born in California.
Really?
Sean was born in Nevada.
Okay. Next time you go to California, you let me know. I'll come with you guys.
Oh, we have so much fun.
I bet.
It's expensive.
How much are usually tickets to get out there?
It's cheap. I mean, it just depends on what time of year you go
And where you're flying into.
and where you're going into. I mean, if
I'm sure you know the tricks, though.
yeah, if we fly into Palm Springs, go in there and get a rent a car, we can go wherever. Just get a
Yeah.
hotel wherever we're gonna stay. You know, but I mean, we stayed at this really awesome hotel in San Diego called the Moxie,
Yeah.
and I saw that they
I
have a
heard
Moxie.
San Diego's going down. Like, that's they're basically calling San Diego a failed city at
It's-
this point.
Pathetic. The amount of homeless people. I'm like,
I'm sure it's a lot different from where did you
Oh.
grow up in California?
Well, I was born in Fullerton. I was raised in Temecula, which is kind of in between San Diego and Riverside.
Yeah.
It's probably an hour from Palm Springs.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, it's an hour from Palm Springs, an hour.
How
from,
far away from LA is it?
An hour.
Yeah.
An hour? Okay.
Yeah, an hour.
So have you ever spent a lot of time in LA?
I lived with my grandparents for 4 years in Orange, so I mean,
Oh, shit.
my granddaddy.
So you used to see celebrities all the
all
time.
the time,
Yeah.
just running down the street. I saw Brooke Shields driving in an El Camino after Blue Lagoon.
Goodness gracious. You know what I really want to do? I want to go to LA and go to David Dobrik's pizza place.
I've never been to LA.
How have you never been to LA? You're from California.
Well, he was born there, but we moved before he was 2,
I gotcha.
and we lived in
gotcha.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
you grew up in Vegas.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was great. I loved it.
So, like, I'm sure there's different parts of Vegas than the Strip.
Well,
obviously.
yes, we lived in North Las Vegas.
Okay.
So here's Vegas, and then here's North Las Vegas.
It's really not that far away.
It's
More
really
of a-
it's really not that far.
It's like
So-
from driving from here to Nashville.
Oh, I
Yeah,
gotcha. I
yeah.
gotcha. I gotcha.
I mean,
yeah.
if the air is clear, you can see the Strip from our front yard.
Oh, wow.
At night, I could see all the lights from the strip.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Now
I've never been anywhere or done anything crazy. Like I said, the farthest away I've been is Pennsylvania, and we didn't do shit in Pennsylvania. We went on a road trip. Me and Curtis and Kevin, my twin brother, went on a road trip
You
to
didn't go to
Pennsylvania.
Amish country?
No, we went and saw my buddy Curtis's hometown from Petersburg, Pennsylvania, or something like that. About an hour away from Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Eat a tuna.
But yeah, we rolled by his step grandfather's house, who he used to love his step grandfather, and then once his grandma died, he kind of cut the whole family off. And we were sitting outside his house, and Curtis was debating on whether to go up to his front door and curse him out real quick. We left to go back to Tennessee, so that was fun. He didn't end up doing it. He's like, you know what, that old man's not worth it. I'm just gonna go. So,
Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this episode up.
dude, it was a good episode.
It was.
I
It was
feel
fun.
like
It was a
you
lot
on.
of fun.
so.
We'll have to
Listen.
get more chairs and bring Izzy and all the
Hey,
gang back
listen.
over.
Yeah.
I want to turn my and you know I live 7 minutes away from you guys, right?
Yeah, you live
I li-
over by
behind the jail.
Yeah.
I live right behind the jail. So I want to turn my extra room. We call it our cat room because the cats sleep in there and shit. But I want to turn that into a studio room. So the guys don't want to leave their house to do. They want us to stay at their house because it's 2 of them at their house. Then there's one person who always has to come over, which is me. So we usually do the podcast at
Well,
their
that's kind
house.
of unfair.
It's life. It's okay. I get over
Alright.
it. We make good content at their house. We started at their house. And honestly, I really my goal at this point, you know, I work in insurance. I do all this stuff.
How are you doing
want
on
to
your health insurance test?
I'm doing okay.
All right.
I didn't go to work today because I'm sure you've heard me cough a few times. And it was a lot worse this morning. I'm on steroids. I'm on
Well, it's
antibiotics.
allergy season too. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, everything's.
Well,
you know, you
every
did
time
right
the
'cause of
weather
fall.
changes, I get sick and I get every single time the weather changes, I get bronchitis and a chest infection.
I have 24/7 allergies, so I'm hacking up a lung for like
Yeah.
the first 2 hours.
And it doesn't
of my
help
life.
that I've been trying. Obviously, I've been trying to quit vaping. You see what I'm fucking doing here? I've been vaping the whole goddamn time. This is a vice that I want to kill. I want to kill it, but I can't. Especially when this beautiful cotton candy vape is in front
It's
of me.
delicious.
It's delicious. But I try not to smoke at work, and But yeah, I get real bad chest infections and lower what is it called, lower respiratory infections every single year.
So it's not
I've had
even-
bronchitis
it's
every
not
year
even
since I was
here,
10
it's
years old.
all the way down in your lowers.
Yeah.
Damn.
And so I'm getting over it. I'm going back to work tomorrow, so I'll be okay. Everybody's been emailing me today. I'm like, hey, I need this done. Hey, I need this done.
Yeah.
And I haven't done shit with my pre-licensing, so I got to catch up tomorrow. It's really not that hard. I have 3 licenses already. So I mean, and I was talking about it yesterday. I'm not the type of person who can just go through and read and retain
Yeah, I
everything.
saw that.
I have to learn by failure. So I go straight to the quiz and I just answer questions, write down the ones I get wrong until I get a 100%, and then I just keep going.
Yeah, I've done that.
So that's how I do it. But yeah, but I want to have you at some point on our podcast too.
I would love it.
So, and I think that's going to be great. I've got a lot of ideas. I was telling him last night about it. I've got a lot of ideas about different kinds of podcasts that I want to do. But man, I'll tell you, one of my favorite podcasters out there, they podcasted for 10 years before they ever made money from it.
Oh shit.
So, but now they go, like, I went and saw them on this past Tuesday.
That's what you were saying yesterday.
Wizard and the Bruiser
Yeah.
and Page 7's Jackie Zabrowski, Holden McNeely. They're all used to be on this show called The Roundtable of Gentlemen back in the day, which is one of the most raunchiest, funniest podcasts. They don't get a lot of it's racist as fuck, but it was back in 2012.
Well,
and they weren't doing it for money back then.
I mean, I
now
can sit here
they
and tell
don't do that whatsoever. Now
I'm Jewish, so I can sit here and talk about Jews. So
Yeah,
I'm good with that,
yeah.
You know,
But they actually got to a point because they have 300 and something episodes on Spotify. Kevin Barnett, who was a part of it, died in 2015, and they never made another episode after he died.
Wow.
But now they all have their own podcasts and stuff like that, and they all fall under the Last Podcast Network. So they have a contract with Spotify where all of their podcasts they're sponsored by Spotify and all this other stuff. So it took them a long time, but that's the type of thing that I want to do with my career. I want to be the guy that I just want to entertain people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a stand-up comedian. I know I'm not a stand-up comedian. I don't want to be a stand-up comedian. I might try my hand at it someday when I get the courage up. But a lot of people don't understand is a lot of these comedians and stand-up comedians are one of the most intelligent people on this earth. And a lot of people don't understand that. Matt Rife has been doing this for 15 years. Yeah. Nobody knew about Matt Rife until a couple of years ago.
I knew about him when he was on Wild 'N Out.
Yeah. But people who didn't listen to watch Wild 'N Out had no idea who he was until recently. And he got his veneers and all this stuff. But he said it took him... It took him 2.5 years to come up with an hour worth of content to him to go on tour and stuff like that. It's not easy whatsoever to be a stand-up comedian.
No.
But I'll quit rambling. We got to end this.
Yeah.
We love you all. Have a great day. Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate you.
Of course, brother. And I will see you guys when I come back from Poland.
Oh, is this? When do you leave?
So we leave next week.
Okay.
And this episode will actually air, I think, the week I fly home.
Okay. So you've already got a couple episodes lined up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it'll be this one or if I can get Cody in here before I go to bed, him and I will record one more.
Oh, so you're going to do another one today?
I'm going to try if I can get Cody home soon enough.
We love you guys. Have a great day.
See you.